Welcome to our estate sale video this week. This week we are in South Oklahoma City. We're doing two sales this week. So I will be running one. Heartland Estate Sales by Brad will also be running one. And I'm going to take you on a tour. We're going to start in the master bedroom. We have this really pretty vintage French Provincial bedroom set. We have the dresser with the mirror. We have the two matching end tables or nightstands and also a vanity. We also have this really cool little, it's a little shoe shelf, so you can put shoes in it in storage, or a little shoe cabinet. We've got lots and lots and lots of vintage stuff, lots of little time capsule stuff from the 60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, lots of vintage clothing, lots of vintage decor. I mean, it's really kind of a fun little sell. So here's the nightstand. We have a king-size headboard and mattresses. We have all these little picture frames. Over here, we've got the other nightstand, cute little chair. This is the really adorable little vanity. Of course, that closes up, or you open it up to put the makeup in it. Got tons and tons of vintage clothing, kind of in every closet. It's a really fun little time capsule sale. You can kind of see with more vintage clothing here. In the next room, we've got this is a little office area, so we've got some books and some bookcases. We have file cabinet, metal desk, little vintage cameras, some vintage binoculars, a little oak antique washstand. We have a little Remington typewriter table, lots and lots of vintage office supplies, some kind of old antique paper that's all been framed. Let's see. Lots of things are going to have fun little notes on them, like this. The people had actually put notes attached to them, so some of them have little family histories. Really kind of a fun little touch on some of the stuff, all the little details and notes. We also have a Sears sewing machine. We also have this vintage, this is an antique medicine cabinet that they put glass in, but you could put a mirror in it, like it would have been in an old bathroom. Some antique pictures. Like I said, lots and lots of decor. We're going to pop into the front bedroom, and we have a full-size bed. We have some ladies' head vases. We have two in here and more in another room. Lots of Fenton, lots of blue glass, lots of cranberry glass. We have this antique buffet, probably from the 20s. Like I said, lots and lots and lots of glassware, tapestries. I mean, it's kind of a fun full sell. We have this antique Victorian washstand. And in the closet, they have lots of little vintage porcelain dolls. Some of them are German, some of them aren't. Some of them are composition. But really kind of a fun, really nice little, like I keep saying, time capsule. We're going to go into the living area. And in the entryway, some kind of little fun little stuff. And in the formal, kind of give you a wide shot. Starting over here, we have a little antique, this is a child's rocker, really tiny, really cool, probably 100 years old. It's a little bitty table with some vintage chairs. Like I said, lots of glassware, lots of figurines, some of it's Lefton, some of it's Japanese, some of it's German. Tons of hand-painted china. We've got this little pair of reproduction Victorian marble top tables. We have the coffee table and both the matching end tables. Lots of the moon and stars pattern. There's coin dot, Fenton. We've got these little hand painted lamps. It's kind of hard to tell with the lamp on, but they're hand painted shades. We have one of these little heart shaped chairs. These are always really popular. The back of it looks like a heart. People always love these. If you're a dealer, this is a sure sell if you get one. Lots of more vintage stuff, lots of pictures. Some of the art is original. The lady who lived here painted, and one of her friends painted, and she actually had a little bit of notoriety. 1920s buffet that's been painted. We also have this little topper that you could put on top of a buffet or a cabinet. This would also be great if you're a dealer, because you can lock this up and actually put stuff in it. It's full of lots of crystal, lots of fancy crystal, lots of bells. Lots of the bells are Fenton. We've got this little gold leaf desk. It's got lots of hand-painted china on top of it. This little hand carved mirror. This is solid wood that's been painted. And let's see, more vintage furniture. This is probably the tallest piece of hull I've ever seen. It's almost 2 foot tall. It is enormous. It's a gigantic piece of hull. It's perfect condition, no chips, no cracks. We'll come over here. We have a lot more cranberry glass, pictures. I mean, there's a lot of it. There's also some moonstone. There's some candle wick. Nice little pair of chairs. We're going to go into the next room. We have an Amish heater, and this is kind of cool. It's a 5-gallon pickle jug for Mason's jars. These are collectible. These were actually counter jars where they sell pickles out of. They weren't actually ones that they canned in, but they're really collectible. Some more vintage stuff. Lots and lots of roosters. So if you collect roosters or know someone who collects roosters, there's a insane little rooster collection here. More books. More kind of like little Japanese and German figurines. More roosters. And we'll come over here. In the kitchen, we've got some china. This kind of vintage glassware. In the garage, we've got just kind of everything you can imagine, miscellaneous tools, little jars of bolts and nuts and screws and nails, lots of old chemicals, metal cabinets. We've got a surveyor's instrument. And over here we have some old hand tools, screwdrivers, we have some grinders, we have drills, we have a big vise, skill saw, lots of power drills like I said. Chainsaws. This is kind of interesting. It's a Ben Hogan golf set, still in the box. It's been used, but it still has the original box with it, so kind of a fun little find if you're a golf collector. Lots more tools. Like I said, some more grinders, heater. And over here we have a washer and a dryer. And now we're going to hop outside. In the kitchen, we've got some Saladmaster cookware. We have a lot of Corningware and a few vintage Pyrex pieces. A couple pieces of jadeite, this gold flatware, and some carnival glass. Now, out in the sunroom, a little pair of vintage recliners, lots more hand-painted china. There's lots of costume jewelry. It's kind of hard to tell with the glare, but lots of stuff with rhinestones, some really pretty pieces. We have a coffee table and end table with some vintage tools or antique tools on top of those. We have a ton of linens, like old vintage towels. There's chenille, there's a quilt or two, kind of old vintage tablecloths. Now, outside, this has already been shut up, but there's stuff in the shed. We've also got this cute little pair, this little vintage, these are iron seats. Out in this little rock garden, we're selling all the rocks and all the concrete. There are tons of rose rocks, really huge rose rocks, pieces of quartz, pieces of marble. I mean, some really fun, interesting rocks. We're going to sell all the rocks, basically $1 a pound. So these really huge pieces of rose rocks are going to be some really good buys. We have a lawn spreader, a porch swing. There might actually be 2 porch swings. And then we have some yard tools. Over the next shed, we've got wheelbarrow, ladder, and we have this entire shed that you're going to get to dig anything out of it you want. A dolly, and then, like I said, the first shed, which also you can dig anything out of it you want. And that pretty much wraps up our preview for today. And we certainly hope to see you at this sale, and our other sale we're also doing is less than a mile away from this one. So you can hit 2 sales back to back. Both of them are going to be really fun, and we'd love to see you here. Bye-bye.